Hey man, I've been hearing about Bill Cosby and how they found him guilty for his case that happened since 2014. And let me tell you something. Fact of the matter is, whether Bill Cosby did this shit or not, they did not do this in the name of justice. Bill Cosby was going to buy out a company and he was going to make it where he was going to recondition the minds of black people because of what we have these days. World Star Hip Hop, Love and Hip Hop, Gossip, Media Takeout. We have the DJ Academics of the world. We got the Vlad TVs of the world. We got all this debauchery going on and people who have become outlets to dysfunctions. And Bill Cosby has always had that image for melanated / black people. From Fat Albert and him being a part of the Electric Company, from the Bill Cosby show, and even that spinoff in A Different World. William Cosby has always made it his life goal to have a positive image for black people and be that role model. They call him America's father and whatnot. And honestly, James from Good Times, in my personal opinion, was a better example for a black father and just a stern black man or whatnot. But still, I'm not going to take that away from Bill Cosby and what he was doing, his angle. Because Bill Cosby, even though he gave his attitude towards black people was disparaging and crude, and he was looked at as one of those bourgeoisie black people, don't get it twisted. I know. He still had done positive. He still has contributed. He has donated hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. He had that he had the wherewithal. He had the notoriety. And he was getting ready to act on it. But the elite didn't play that shit. What did they want to do? They said, William Cosby, we're going to plead you guilty for those quaaludes and those rape allegations. So they brought all these females lined up. And, you know, I'm not here to be a dick, an asshole, and to downplay that shit. But you can clearly tell that this was strategic. They waited for the man to be senile. They waited for him. They waited to where he wouldn't be able to, he wouldn't be able to speak his piece and he wouldn't be able to express himself fully. They did this strategically. They did not. Otherwise, if they would have did this back in the 80s and back in the 90s, like I'm saying, with this full contempt that they have, you think that shit would have really panned out? No. They are playing chess. And they made it to where now William Cosby is getting hung by public opinion, by public perception. Yup. So, I mean, part of it is him acting and his attitude and the way he acted towards other black people and, them trying to get pointers from him, whether it was black comedians and the stories that they tell, Ari Spears, whether the stories he would share, or Eddie Griffin. I'm sure Richard Pryor had stories, and even Chappelle and Martin Lawrence. Like, there are plenty of people who reached out to Cosby and they did not get. I'm sure even Kevin Hart, him being from Philly, I mean, if people can, speaking of Philly, if people can, root for Meek Mills and say, man, free Meek Millie. Hey, man, I mean, there's no telling if they're going to do it for Bill Cosby or not. I mean, Bill Cosby's been in this shit for decades upon decades. I mean, even Malcolm X was still alive. Martin Luther King was still alive. Even Morgan Freeman was a young man when all these things were transpiring, and Bill Cosby was putting his dent in history and making a landmark. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I know the pudding pop, and people already got the memes ready. People already got the jokes, but This is a serious matter, and this is even bigger than Bill Cosby. But, you know, we're reaching the 2020s now, where things could either get better or worse. We're at the crossroads. We're in an age where it's cool and it's fashionable to be a junkie. We're in an age where it's cool to troll and fuck around and think that we could mess with people's livelihood and we could take that as a joke, hence the memes. And something got to be done. That's all I got to say about it. Peace out, everybody.